in this video I'll be reviewing set number 76007. This set costs £40, that's called LEGO Iron Man 3 Malibu Mansion Attack. Right, so here's a side build in the set, and this side build is the Mandarin's helicopter. Now this is no specific helicopter in the movie, it's just all the random helicopters that you see throughout the movie. Now I think this is slightly inaccurate to the movie, because as far as I remember, the helicopters in the movie were actually entirely black, but this one has a bit of green. But because it's LEGO, I guess that's okay, since it does add a bit of colour. And they also added a nice detail, which isn't in the movie I don't think, although I haven't seen the movie recently. As far as I remember, it isn't in the movie, is this detail up here. It's a very nice sticker, although it's not really necessary. It does look quite nice and add a nice bit of detail. As do these stickers along here. It's the same on each side, by the way. And there's also these two flickfire missiles, which are very bright, but they do get the job done for firing off at Tony Stark and causing one of the play features to explode. And there's two on this side. Now, one detail which I really like about this build is this little area here. It's very simple, but it's very effective. Basically, you can just have a minifig standing on there and looking out from the helicopter. So that's really quite cool. And there's also a gun rack right here with the gun, so they can grab the gun and fire at Tony Stark whilst they're flying past. So that's quite cool. There's also a really big sort of boom on the end right here. And there's a light, and there's also a propeller which can spin all the way around very fast. And there's also these sort of skids at the bottom, and this is quite a nice piece. That looks quite cool. And there's also a big rotor on the top. Admittedly, that does take a lot of room to spin, but there we go, that's spinning around, and it can spin reasonably fast, although it does get caught on itself occasionally. You can take the top of the roof off, and the interior really isn't that much. I mean, there's just a minifig sitting there. There's not even any control sticks, which is sort of unfortunate. I do wish they had that at least. But yeah, sort of plain interior. But there is a part of the interior behind the Mandarin where you can kind of hide a troop or two, although they'll end up falling out, so that feature doesn't work that well. But if you attach a rope to them, then they can kind of do a bungee jump down to the ground and sort of have an epic entrance. So overall, this is a very average helicopter, but it does look quite cool and does fit with the movie sort of well, although it's not entirely accurate. So here's the main builder set, and the main builder set is a well-detailed version of the Iron Man mansion from Iron Man 3. Now it's not the entire mansion, but it is quite a bit of the mansion. Like, I think it's the second floor, and it's basically half of that floor. It looks really well detailed. So let's get into some of the details now. So here's the exterior of the mansion. I have to say it does look really nice, or at least from this side it does. It looks really accurate to the actual mansion from the actual movies, although I do wish it was on a rocky surface perhaps, although that would have probably increased the price of the set. It's already quite a pricey set for what it is anyway, so I can't get why they didn't do that, but that would have looked quite nice as a display stand. So I might build a custom one of that at some point. But overall, the actual building part of it does look really cool. Obviously it's open from the top so you can access the play features. One of the play features is this, where you could explode one of the windows. And it just pops right out, and that's to represent an explosion. So that's quite a cool play feature. Another one is less well hidden, and that affects the interior. Now, this part of the wall doesn't look that good, especially this part with the lever. But basically what that does is activate a play feature from the inside. That play feature is the exploding feature for the Iron Man suit racks. So that just works like that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But overall, it's quite a cool play feature. And overall, the exterior of this looks really, really nice and really accurate to the movies. Here's the first part of the interior. And this part of the interior is my favourite part because it is really well detailed. I mean, it's not many details, but the details that are there are really quite nice. I mean, there's a really nice hidden play feature which I showed previously, where basically you just push on this lever and the Iron Man suits go flying. So that's quite nice. Although it does break up the sculpt of the overall floor, so I don't really like that, but the actual play feature itself is well hidden and looks quite nice. Now, it's quite fiddly to reattach these, but once you do, they do look quite cool. And there's just a glowing little stand for two Iron Man suits, so there's one included in the set, and you could use the extra one from the Avengers sets, or any of the other Marvel superhero sets, and you can just put that there. Now, the suits that are represented with stickers. Those show the computer details of the actual suits, which is really quite cool. Now, it's kind of hard to see, but it does look quite cool, and you can kind of see that it shows the Mark 45 and the Mark 6, and it shows all the scannings and details and how much % of power they have and stuff. That's really cool detail there. Really didn't have to add that there, but they did, and it looks really nice, especially on a transparent sticker. That looks really cool. And there's also a little blender here which has some oranges in it, and I guess those are being blended up for a drink. That looks really cool, really nice detail there. Shows a bit of life in this building, so people are actually living here instead of it's just a plain building that's not being used. There's also a mug for that, and there's these two cabinets right here, which can open up, although it does take some effort to get them open. But once you do, there's nothing inside, unfortunately. But they do look nice and add to the overall look of this kitchen area. In general, this area of the build is my favourite because it's really well detailed, yet very simply detailed, and looks really nice. Here's the sort of window area of this building, and this looks really cool. I mean, it's the plainest part of the build, but it does look really cool. There's this little vent right here to, I guess, let air into the building. And there's this sticker which says alert on it, although it's backwards from this side, but when you flip it around, then you can see that it is indeed the right way around, and that sticker also has some various other details on it. There's another sticker which shows the Mandarin's helicopter is incoming, so that's quite a cool sticker as well. I mean, they're kind of hard to see since they're very faded stickers, but they look quite cool nonetheless. And also within this general sort of area, there is Tony Stark's workbench, which looks really cool. And you can see there's a rotating sort of work area from the actual movie, and there's these computer screens which are really high tech. There's a sticker on there which shows Iron Man turning into Tony Stark, and vice versa, I guess. And there's also a sort of heart rate thing, because Tony Stark has all these heart problems. So I guess he's keeping track of that when he's in the suit and when he's out of the suit. There's also this little detail of the Iron Man helmet right here, and a sort of arm of the Iron Man suit and showing all the thrusters and various information right there that I guess Tony is researching. And there's also a little bit of clips right here, and there's also a little workbench right here. In general, the entire interior just looks really nice and really well detailed. The details are simple yet really good, especially the sticker details. I really do quite like those. And the suit area over here looks really nice as well.